Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hugh McCormick, and I'll be your host for today's episode of Meet the Candidate. Tonight, on this edition of Meet the Candidate, we will get to learn more about presidential hopeful Zach Turnage, the current Vice President of the United States. Mr. Turnage, why don't you introduce and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, thank you, Mr. McCormick, and thanks for giving me the opportunity to be here today on your show. My name is Zach Turnage, as most of you all know. Currently 17 years old, and the current Vice President of the United States of America. Some of you may not know me too well. Some of you may not know my backstory, nor back history. So, hopefully with this, I can tell you guys some of it. Me, Zach Turnage, when I first came to the United States of America, I was not really anybody. I was just here for the fun and games, just like you and each and every citizen. You know, just looking for a place to relieve stress and have fun, and, it was like a safe haven. Well, the first ever job that I got, I don't know if it was really a job, but I was more helping out my country, was I was a soldier in the United States military under the Army. Fought in multiple wars, those including, but not all, the White Rose War and Civil War, and I believe there was another war, but I cannot remember it off the top of my head. So what led me up to being in a government position before I was vice president? I was once mayor of the town that many people know in the city that I'm from, New Haven. Before it was actually called New Haven, not a lot of people know this, but it was called the Dome because there's a big glass dome around it. Well, I ran for office of mayor in New Haven, and I won. And during the time that I was mayor, that city, it did, yes, have to ask for grants from the government. But during my mayorship, there was a middle class. There were actually people who had enough money to buy stuff, and work was getting done. Many roads were built, many different stores and shops and different things were built. Houses that were even licensed to be built. And there was a whole lot of other stuff that was being done as well as a further expansion of the wall. Next thing that happened after my mayorship, I seen an opportunity in the United States government as becoming vice president. I thought that with this big change and this big event that was happening, not only because it was my father being the vice president, but I took it upon my own free will and my obligation freely, that I wanted to better the United States and make America great for everyone. Not just people that come and go, and not just people that stay there and don't do anything. I wanted a change. I want everything to be good and people start working. So what I did when I was running for my candidacy as vice president is I was out recruiting, getting more members. Keep in mind, during this time previously, we were rebuilding the United States because of what Secretary Mark Munden did. Both me and my father and a few other people were helping rebuild the United States community during the time the communities were still on PlayStation 4.
Now, is this a time when you were first in the United States, or did it come a while after?
This is when I was first in the United States. When I first joined the United States, I didn't know much about it. But at the same time, I also did not know that there was a massive attack on the United States that kicked out a majority of its members.
Mm-hmm.
When I joined the United States, there was only, I believe, around 200 members at the time. Not very high numbers at all, especially not when we were here and the community was basically finished during the time period because PlayStation removed them. During that time period, there was over 1,000. And I was here during that time helping rebuild the population. Not only that, but helping with the infrastructure of both Washington, D.C. and New Haven. But
all right.
During those...
Oh, sorry. Continue.
But during those times, I was running for vice president, and I just so happened to won the vice presidency. It was a very close call, very close call. I think it
Yeah,
was
it was one vote away.
yeah, one vote away, a very close call.
I believe it
But I just so
was
happened.
30 in your favor and 29 in your opponent's.
It was a very crazy election. Let's just keep it at that. But the one thing that I did make as a promise to the American people is that I will always be here and stand for the American people. I believe in their freedoms, and I believe that everyone has the right to dream and the right to basically be free, that they could
Nice.
do what they so please.
Very nice, very nice. Let's get into our first question here. Thank you for telling us a little bit about your backstory. Our first question is your father, President Turnage, is currently in his final months as President of the United States. How has it been working under his administration as Vice President?
Well, under my father's administration, I think that it has taught not only me but many people a lot of different things. Those being that it doesn't just take uh, one person to be a great leader. You know what I'm saying? Is that when there's multiple people, usually it gets the job done fast, and it's always a good thing to have more people on. Therefore, you can make more decisions more precisely and more swiftly instead of like my father quote says, acting out of emotion sometimes. But working under his administration, it has taught a lot of people different things, and it's personally taught me how to be a better government official. Taught me how to properly carry myself. Not only that, but it's also taught me that sometimes, you have to do what you got to do to ensure the safety of the American people and the survival of this great nation.
Did you did you ever think that you were going to work under your father in his administration when you first joined?
Personally, I did not. Personally, I seen myself as a businessman and doing business and helping out the economy as a whole, trying to get more people to work for the business and so they can provide for their families, so they can go and actually have money. I never really seen myself working under my father's administration, but when no one decided to show up or step up to the plate to help out this great country, I realized that my father couldn't do it alone. He needed help. So I am the one who stepped up, and I'm the one who currently helped my father with different subjects
How
in
is the
dealing with
relationship
situations.
with your father? Would you say that you guys have a very good relationship or a love-hate relationship? How is it?
I say it's pretty good. I mean, there's some instances, we argue about little things, but other than that, at the end of the day, we all think, agree, and deal with all the same aspects and concepts that are thrown in our path.
I think that's
Either
usually
way,
like all families, every family has their ups and downs. That's
mhm.
cool though. That's very cool. Um, how did you come about serving in public office? Like, did you always want to serve, or did it just, come about one day?
Well, I took after my father. Uh, Personally, he was the one who inspired me to do this and continue on his great legacy that he is just so happened to be passing down to me. He's been the first and I believe the sixth president. He has carried this nation so long and so hard, and he's desperately tried to keep the United States up on the world stage, and he's tried to do so many things for this great nation. And I personally think that it'd be a shame if it just so happened to get in the wrong hands or fell uh, due to the fact of being attacked from the inside out, which we have all witnessed currently this year during the mafia situation, which was not too good.
Hmm. What was the reason you decided to run for president? Is there any specific reason, or like you said, or was it just because you wanted to? Preserve your father's legacy and keep the country strong.
No. In the United States currently, I believe that there's some things that we could possibly be doing better. But like I said before, my father doesn't have the time to focus on everything. Okay, that's why he has people that work for him, just like myself. Personally, under my administration, both me and my father have the work ethic of getting the job done, getting it done properly, and getting it done now. Personally, what made me want to go into office and stuff like that, it was not only because of my father, no. I feel as if the United States needed that extra boost of support. At first, I will not lie to the American people, I was not taking it too seriously at the first debate. Um, I gave it a good shot. I was practicing, getting stuff done. But then it just dawned on me the past week, the way Secretary Munden acted. If you're gonna have someone who's a raging alcoholic, doing other stuff, associating himself with terrorists of the state, I just can't have that. I do not see how a proper president would even associate himself with people like that, nor be all buddy-buddy with them like that. I just feel as if the United States is going to be in harm in the near future if he was ever to win this presidency. And with my plan that I have in place, I feel that that's not going to happen. I personally have been side by side with my father in office. Ever since I entered office, I've seen the way that he thinks, the way that he processes things. I've adapted and learned a lot about both of them and all of that. And I just do not see, I don't know how you could support a president who is a terrorist lover, not only just a terrorist lover, but someone who could be just so blatantly, what's the word I'm looking for? Despicable.
All right. Who are you currently considering to be your running mate?
Personally, I do not have one yet. I do not see anyone that is fit for the job or fit to be my running mate. Obviously, the president does plan to have by the end of his presidency, have full seats in, I believe it was Congress and the House of Representatives. But as of right now, I still am unsure. There's no one that currently fits the role of to be vice president or anything of that sort. So I'm still looking.
All right. Do you think you'll have a running mate by the last debate before the election?
Like I said, live my days one at a time. So if the right person comes, then I believe so. But until then, if there's no new people and no new options, then most likely not.
What are your current plans or policies that you want to implement if you are elected president?
My current plans and policies that I want to implement, one being first off that I want to announce here right now, is the tax system. Personally, I think that the tax system is, excuse my language, a gosh darn joke. Okay, one starting off is, I do not believe that the American people should be taxed 37 cents per dollar. I personally, first thing when I get into office, I'm changing that right around. I also do not believe that there should be all these tax deductions because that's just going to cripple the federal government's tax money as well. I think it'd be better off to just lower the amount of money that instead of just putting band-aids on open wounds, on an open wound. I believe that where I stand on this matter for my first subject is that personally I would lower the taxes down to 18%, and that's the highest that it should be. It should not be 37%. The second thing that I would focus on that I believe needs to be addressed is the United States military. If we do not have a military, we cannot defend this great country. Nor can we do anything else. If there's terrorist remarks or terrorist acts in the country, we can't really do anything to prevent against them. So another big plan for my presidency is get the military back to what it used to be back in the day. Personally, like I said, going one day at a time. I don't know when GTA 6 is going to be coming out. I do not know about all that matter, but I probably do plan on getting the PS5 here. Currently, they are not really in stock, but hopefully transfer the military to GTA 6 when it comes out. And the third policy that I want to discuss here as well, that I would implement, is with foreign diplomacy. One thing that I want to do with foreign diplomacy is I want to get more allies with the United States, due to the fact is that there's a possibility in the future, if everything is going right, that we're going to have enemies, foreign and domestic, and that there's going to be a lot of people trying to shut us down. And if we have allies, militaristic allies, even if they were just diplomatic allies as well, we could get major benefits from them, not to mention that, we'd help out and aid them as well, but I believe that that's a smart thing to do, is to have allies.
Which countries would you like to ally with first?
Currently, I personally do not know all of the countries that I want to ally with. Obviously, if they are harboring terrorists from the United States terrorist list, obviously I do not want to ally with them. But currently, as we speak, the only people that I would ally with would be, I believe it was the UMR, I believe, and I was thinking about the Iron Brethren, possibly, due to the fact that they are over.
Did you mean to say
1,000 members strong.
the UE, not the UMR, or?
Oh yeah. I believe it. Oh yeah, I believe the UE. My bad.
And what were you saying about this group that's 1,000 members strong? Which one is that?
Well, currently the leader of the Iron Brethren, aka the Anti-Furry Empire, was a citizen of the United States a while ago. He had embassy on the United States server. And personally, he hasn't done anything wrong to me nor the president. I believe that he could possibly bring positive benefits over.
Did you?
Not
You
only
said
just militaristically.
the what was it called? The Anti-Furry Empire. Wouldn't you think that a lot of voters would see that as anti-Semitic for not allowing people to believe in what they believe in? Are you saying that you, as a presidential candidate, would support a group that hates on others because of what they like to do? Is that what you're saying? I just want to understand better what you're trying to get at here.
No. Their group is named the Anti-Furry Empire. Actually, that's not really what their name is anymore. They don't go by that. They go by a new name. It is off of, I believe it was Warframe. They have a new name for their group. They no longer do that type of behavior. They used to go and hunt down people like furries and different stuff like that, because the furries used to attack them personally and grief their Minecraft worlds, different stuff like that. But now they've changed their name, and it's no longer the Anti-Furry Empire. It was the Iron Brethren, which is, I forgot what that's from. And personally, I do not think, obviously, what you stated, if the people would not like that, different things like that, we also got to think people change. They no longer do this behavior and acts. Not only to mention that is that the United States would have proper policies in place. One being, there's not going to be any bullying of a United States citizen or anything like that just because they are, quote, quote, a furry. Obviously, that could possibly result in a ban from the United States if that was ever to occur.
Wouldn't you say though it's more of you know, it's more of not really caring about that certain population of American citizens who are voters in this election, who are furries? Wouldn't that be more of like an attack personally towards them if you were to align yourself in the United States with this group of people in the future? I mean, what do you have to say to the voters
Well, I
who
mean,
are furries or who do support people having the right to be a furry? I mean, how
well, I
can you
mean,
say
like,
that you wish to align yourself with a group of people that don't necessarily treat those people with the same respect as they would say treat other people? How can you assure the American voters that are furries that there will be no anti-Semitic acts or any hate crimes going on because of that, and due to the potential alliance that you want to get into with these people?
like I said previously, um, that was them back in the day. Not all the people are still the same. A majority of the people left and went and found different groups. They've changed from their ways from back in the day. They're no longer like that. So probably like about they changed probably about 6 months ago. A majority of the people that were already in that group and involved with them, they're already gone because they don't see any fun, like any proper what's it called? Anything to do in the group anymore. Like I said before as well, it'll result in a ban if it did become bullying. Because my intentions are not to bully people. Like currently, what I've seen in the United States, there's a few people that bully people, but and nothing's done about it. But under
We
my term, bullying is a big thing,
Not
and I do
to
not believe that it
interrupt
should.
you, Mr. Vice President, but we just got a report here that says on the Iron Brethren's YouTube channel, there are videos that are there that remind people of World War II in regards to the Nazi regime, uh, gassing and burning furries in chambers and stuff like that, and torturing and cyberbullying. The evidence, Mr. Vice President, is there in itself on the channel. So, but well, let us move on to another question. Um, that topic is kind of rough, but next question is, what are the key issues that you wish to address if elected president?
Key issues that I want to address. The first one is foreign diplomacy. I believe that the United States currently does not speak to enough people to set the tone on the world stage. Even though we are a big group and one of the most well-known groups by the way that we carry ourselves, I believe that we need to speak with other world leaders and get their thoughts and opinions on different subjects and matters, possibly creating alliances. Next thing that I would address would always, like I say, the tax system. Currently, right now, I believe it's broken. The next thing that I would address would probably have to be the civilian life, the life of an everyday citizen. I believe that not only just through gaming that people come and seek a place to enjoy themselves or have fun. I believe that people shouldn't have fun while doing so. It shouldn't be like some that's mandatory that they all have to like sit there and grind. Obviously if they accept a job and it's time consuming and they have to get it done and there's a deadline, obviously they have to be on. But I believe every place should be a safe place for the people of America. Not only that, bring back, for me, a big one is bring back the starting bonus when you first start on the world. so people can actually get items and get what they need to go to work. There's a possibility even they could, go and get permit or different things and go work for companies, save up money, then start their own business and open up more opportunities on the main Minecraft server. Then after that one, like I said previously, I want to revamp the military, get it back on its feet properly, and have all of the different branches that are needed and required for the military to succeed and be strong.
How do you plan on putting your policies into effect?
Plan on running them through Congress. The ideas and things that I have, obviously, I'd have to discuss with the cabinet. I will have a cabinet to discuss these matters. I'm not just going to be making the decisions myself. So I believe that would be unconstitutional if I did so.
Do you have any idea of who your cabinet members are going to be and what positions they're going to have?
As of right now, I do not. That's a great question. Personally, what I want for my cabinet and different stuff like that, I want a whole branch of new people. I don't want people that are per se old, stuff like that, because due to the fact that there's a possibility they might have connections with terrorists, and there might also be a possibility that there might be a terrorist attack on my life like there has been on my dad's life, because as of right now, from what I've seen, there's major terroristic threats throughout the United States due to the fact, our own Secretary of Defense is terrorist on his friends list still, and he was told to get rid of them since the first debate, but that never happened.
Some Americans have wondered, if you are so passionate about these issues, why not use your current position to address and solve these issues?
That's a great question. Currently, I am using my position to help solve and try and fix most of these issues. But like I've also said, I also have a business and it needs to be ran. The people of America, they have to have jobs and be a working class, because without jobs they aren't going to basically get anywhere. So through the business that I have now, I'm trying to offer people jobs so that they can actually make money, have money in their pocket, actually support their home or their needs that they gotta have. And I also believe that right now, I'm not swaying, I'm not swaying, I'm not trying to postpone these things to, I'm not trying to postpone the things that were mentioned. I'm trying to get them done as fast as I can, but it also does not help when people are out, because I've also noticed that when people are out, a lot less work gets done, and you're limited on what you can do. Personally, if one person's not doing their job, it takes a toll, and it takes a lot longer to do something.
Your opponent, Secretary Munden, has stated that he believes that if you are elected, this country will fall. What is your response to that?
I think that's just blatantly wrong. Secretary Munden has carried himself in a way that many Americans do so partially choose him over me, but a lot of the American people, there's a lot of people that still are not voting. They want to wait till the second to debate. I believe that, personally I have plans in place so that the country doesn't fall. One being an actual time schedule, some that Secretary Munden lacks, because he likes to say, quote, he's working is the reason as to why he's never on. Another reason as to why I'm basically the better pick, and I take that insultingly, him saying that the country would fall, is due to the fact that I actually have time on my hands, and I can actually have the Minecraft server and stuff like that the American people want, I can have that open a majority of any time that they want. The funny part is with him making that comment is, there's a lack of effort there due to the fact that he's not active. He's not here. We've all seen this through his first term as president. He was never here, too scared to join. How do we know that, it's not going to happen again if we give him another chance? So I take that comment, that's majorly disrespectful. And I believe that it's the other way around.
At the time of this recording, your campaign is behind in the polls by 5 votes. What do you have to say to the American people? Why should they change their minds and choose you for president?
Sorry, say that again?
I said, at the current time of this filming or recording, your campaign is behind in the polls by 5 votes. What do you have to say to the American people? Why should they change their minds and choose you for president?
First off, I'm a person that likes to tell stuff straight to the American people's face. I'm a man of the people. I do not believe in holding or hiding things from the American people. I believe in the American people having a full choice on what they can do and what they believe in. Mr. Munden, on the other hand, he likes to spit lies to the American people, make promises that he cannot keep, and say false things to the American people, one so being and stating that, he's a military veteran, stuff like that. He's fought in certain wars that, there's no legal documentation of him ever being in, which that's first off a lie. I don't even think that Secretary Munden should have the power of being the Secretary of Defense. I mean, the military is being ran like a joke. I literally have to step into play here because he's not here. There's many flaws in his campaign. One also being that a majority of, all of his voters are his family and real life friends. Personally, my voters are the people. That's why I'm so far behind. I believe the only current vote that I have that's family is my wife. And that's it. The rest are the American people.
So, that concludes all of our questions here tonight. But if there is anything else that you'd like to say to the American people in regards to your campaign, the election, or the country as a whole, feel free.
Well, for you, the American people, I want what's best for this country and what's best for you. I want to ensure the long life of liberty for this country. I also want to make sure that justice is brought about when justice is needed. I believe that not only is it in my duty to save this country from all enemies, foreign and domestic, but it's not just about what I can do for the country. It's about what the American people can do as well. I believe that things like systematic racism should be discouraged and not a part of this group. I believe that everyone should come together as one and that everyone should all, prosper and make the best out of what they have. I believe that Secretary Munden is lacking a lot of these things. A lot of people discourage not only me, but my family members. Say some very harsh things due to the fact just because Secretary Munden says those harsh things. It's one thing being a leader, where you actually lead and stand up for one another. Then there's a big difference between a leader and a follower. What we need in this country more than ever are leaders. That's all I have to say. Zach Turnage, 2021. Let's bring Zach to the White House.
Thank you everyone for watching this edition of Meet the Candidate. We hope that you enjoyed and learned a lot more about the candidate Zach Turnage, who's running for President of the United States. We'll catch you next time when we come with Secretary Mark Munden to learn more about him. Good night, America.